Okay, pilots. I've got one of the burners installed. I'm going to show you how I do it on the other one. I've kind of cut, as you can see, I got a insert cut there all the way around. Glued the burner in. I don't know if you can see it because of, there it is. Got the lead. Get her focused here. Got the lead in a channel there on the side, going into the hole for the where the leads go in for the motor. Got it glued in, well, epoxied in. See? Alright, there's my cone right here. Now the cone got the same thickness of styrofoam that it originally had. So I've put the cone on it, it's going to cover up the light burner, right? So I've got to cut this in like a 45-degree angle. Maybe a little more, maybe a 30-degree angle, something like that. And cut some of my wall down. And yeah, you're saying, man, Eric, that's going to weaken that in there, ain't it? Don't you think that's going to weaken that? Well, I think it will, yeah. So I'm going to put a toothpick here. And over here. Can't go in there because of this brace. And I'm going to try and see if I can put one here and here. But that believe me, pilots, that if you've worked with it, you know that epoxy, you don't play, it holds. But I'm going to put them toothpicks in there anyway. So we're going to see if we can get this one. I'll show you how I cut it. If my phone will stay on this stand, it didn't fell off one time, I would push on it a little bit here. I think I'm going to have to get some new urethane. Alright, now what I've done, I've put me a little piece of masking tape on the blade there. Alright, that's how deep my insert's going to be cut. I've got to lay the ring burner up on it. Lay my outline where it goes with Sharpie. Move the motor, get it out of the way. Now this ain't gonna be no perfect cut, pilots. I'm just trying to get a basic circle using that line. Not sitting here being real nice and easy. I'm just cutting this thing out, pilot. Now, we're dealing with styrofoam here, not flesh. Alright, now that's the spot where my lead's gonna go to. This one, that's open. There's glue where they've glued the fuselage together. Just a little bit right there. Right down here. Goes across there and goes across there. when you hit that glue. Now, by taking my blade and that piece of tape and sticking it up here like so, okay, just kind of getting a measurement of how deep I've cut. Now there's some mold markings on the styrofoam at just about exactly the place that you want it. Let me see if you can see that. Check my phone again. See these mold markings right here, right here? See, I'm just gonna be just maybe right in here with my cut. So I'm gonna be using the mold markings to give me an idea of where to make my cut. Or if you want to, you can take your blade, lay it up there like so, and take a Sharpie and kind of just scar it around there, maybe, and tell you exactly where you're gonna be cut. Now, I'm not gonna be able to go straight down because my blade, you know, you can't get in there to it. So you're just kind of making the best you can. Now, you don't want to go all the way into that to the tape with your blade if you still got your tape on it when you're making this cut. Just kind of swag it there. And if you don't know what swag it means, I don't know if your mom and daddy want me to tell you. But that's a scientific wild ass guess. So we swagging it. I might be getting in the camera view here in a minute now, so just bear with me. And on the other one I done over there, it takes a couple times to get you cut. And pilots, the piece just don't fall out in your hand when you make the cut. You're going to have to work with it a little bit. Now over here where the wires go in, I'm going to show you how I cut a little bit of a bigger groove in it to give that wire room. Because it's not exactly a flush fit right there with them wires. I did have to take my piece of 60 grit sandpaper and do a little dressing. We're gonna see what happens here with this one. Again, pilots, it's not gonna be perfect now. This ain't no laser cut here. I'm trying to make my little groove now for the leads. You're cutting right there where there's a glue seam. These more leads out of the way here for a second. Got to cut a channel right here. Not cutting on that lead, the fuselage seam. I don't want to do that, but I can't get up there to where I want to cut, get out of the way. I'm cutting just a little bit below it. Kind of double cutting it too. I want that groove to get in there pretty good and hold them leads in. And plus I'll put a little bit of epoxy on top of it. Piece of 60 grit sandpaper there. Let me get a good clean edge here. Can't do it like this, you just got to have a little short part. Support the jet with your hand. Not too much, you just knocking that loose stuff out of the way. That's all I'm doing, just knocking that loose stuff out of the way. This kind of helps in getting that angle flattened back out where you had to hold your blade in a slight angle while making the cut. This kind of knocks that corner down there a little bit too. What I've done all the way around. Now let's see if I need to do any more trimming. Get this to fit. That's why you make that area cut out, see how much thicker it is, and then you're going to have the leads coming up. So you bend that over. Bend it over. small 3-head screwdriver. Get these leads in there. I think my light's dying on. Okay. It's not quite flush with it, but it's good enough for a bead of epoxy to just fit it right in there. Okay. That's the way it's gonna sit. White ready. Using 5-minute epoxy. Its own mixing tube. I get that at a Dollar General store, but you can get it at Walmart. It's just in bigger containers. Now we're just gonna put a little bead right around the back side here, I hope. Oh, I wished I could see, Lord. I don't know why my light's dying on me here. Ain't gonna make it. Epoxy coming out there. Not too much, because you're gonna be going back. I'll show you here in a little bit. But you're gonna be going back and putting more on it on the back side. So we're just making sure we get a little bit around the edge here. And believe me, it's rough enough. Put that in there just like it. Taking my finger and I'm just kind of making sure my edge is about the same distance all the way around there, just by filling the back side of it. Again, swagging it. I'm gonna hold that there for a little while here. We're gonna wait about 5 minutes, Pops. I hate it for you. Let me put a little bit on the lead there. Go ahead and let it be drying. Now I'm gonna run the wires. I'm gonna show you how I cut the cone, but I'm not gonna glue the cone on right now. I got to put the motor back in it, and I'm gonna test them before I glue the cone on, and I'm not gonna bore you with running that wire roll up through there. That might take a while. I just wanted to show you how I mount these. watching glue dry. Well, pilots, about half of my jets, you couldn't take the cone off without tearing the thing all to pieces anyway. So that's the reason I done it like this. I mean, if I tried to get that cone off there, and plus by looking at the outside and looking on the inside, you get about that much of a under overlap. So that wouldn't have been much to work with anyway. So I went ahead and cut the whole piece off. Now I'm gonna have to do this to my MiG-29 with vectored exhaust. So that's gonna be a good one. But I've already looked at it and made my plans. I believe I'm gonna be able to do it. And I might have to do this to my 18, my F-18, because those tail cones is glued on there pretty good. But my F4, I believe I'm gonna be able to get the F4 off, but that F-15, ooh. I don't know what I'm gonna do it on that one, pilots. I've been looking at it, and I don't want to cut the whole cone off, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it off or not. That's just what you run into if you're gonna put these burners on your jet, pilots. You got to think a little bit. Wow, that's. Let's see. Just trying to run a bead right on the back side there. Plus, I've got to flip the jet over where I can get up underneath the top rim there, or the bottom rim of the jet. We're gonna hold her there a second there. Now, sometimes this is why I got my alcohol wipe. You know how sometimes you stuff a putty down there at the bottom, you gotta keep moving it back up there. Moving it back up there. I also thought about taking, I got my 2-liter bottle of Pepsi down there, empty. Maybe taking a piece of plastic, cutting that bottle, making a rim around it here, to where I can glue the cone on to. But like I said earlier, I'm gonna have a 45-degree angle cut, or 30-degree angle maybe in the cone part section, so I don't know if that piece of plastic would sit flush on it, if you know what I'm talking about. Might not sit flush on it. So, maybe not. Looks like it's staying where I want. Oh yeah, I was gonna do it with another knife. Yeah, that's staying there. I ain't going nowhere. Now, I don't know know, pilots, I just try not to get none of that epoxy on the light itself on that outside rim. I'm just trying to get it on the back side, just a little bit. I'm gonna take this blade here. I'll just hold it in about a 30-degree angle. I need to get a new one. Just trying to make that cut there now. Like I said, pilots, you know, we ain't taking no mic and laser cut here. We're just making an angle. Yep, I need a new blade. Trip to Harbor Freight. A piece of sandpaper here. There you go. That's what I've done. Got my seams on each side, so at least I know that it's gonna line up either that way or that way, and there it is right there. Get them two seams lined up. Now, again, pilots, when I made that cut, this ain't no laser cut now, this is just, but it sets right up on there. Now, what I might could do to hide all that line or something other, I can make a black line right there or something other, just to give it a little more detail or something, I don't know. You can do anything, but that fits right on there. Okay, that's looking good. Man, that's looking good. Let's get close. Let's see if I moved it a little bit there. See if you can see that. Now, see how you can see the burner nicely now? You know? I think it's gonna look great. I think it's gonna be epic. I've got to get my leads run. Like I said, I'm not gonna bore you with that. I just wanted to show you how I got it installed. So pilots, man, I'm trying. I got to cut the grass today, for crying out loud. So I'm gonna try my best to get it, at least maybe give a taxi test. I might not have it all wires tucked and everything, but I'm gonna try to give you a taxi test at night. Tonight. EQRC. I'm out.